What's going on, guys? Welcome back to DWAS Fishing. Now in this video the plan is to show you guys how to tie another basic rig for surf casting, backed by popular demand because my last video done pretty well. And when I head out fishing in Wellington I see lots of people using the rig that I've shown with the Lumo and whatnot. Like if this helps you, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. Now there's a few things you're going to need. I'm going to link all of the stuff in the description. Today I'm going to go for a 50-pound tough trace, drop it down a bit. Got some Genie rig system. This stop your beads from sliding. Your hooks of choice might always BKK circle size 3 because the species in the Wellington Harbour, the area that I fish, this will catch 90% of the species, so that's the reason for that. Got some type of tackle, snapper candy. These are new beads that everyone's raving about, so going to be giving them a go. Obviously I've taken a few out. We've got some Black Magic rolling barrel swivels. You obviously don't have to use any of this stuff. You can use what you wish, but this is what I choose to use. And obviously a sand grabbing sinker or your sinker of choice. Also got some more bling. I just got this off Temu, so I will not be able to drop this in the links in the comments in the description because yeah, I just cannot. But would recommend checking out Temu. If you're going to buy anything off there, check the dimensions because yeah, people buy things and then it shows up and it's way smaller than they thought it was going to be. So yeah, now the things I'm going to show you, I haven't come up with this all myself. I've learned from other people. 90% of it's just learning from other people, 10% of it might be from me. So yeah, I'm not trying to steal anyone's mojo, I'm just trying to pass on the information. So get into it. So I've got my tough trace. I'm going to cut off about 400 mil, 40 centimeters. Start this rig. Then I'm going to grab my hook. Now I'm going to put the line through. It doesn't matter which way it goes through at the start of this, it's all going to end out the same. So I'm just going to put it through, and I've got about that much through. Now this is a long line knot. I'm just going to pinch the line and the hook shank together, and then I'm just going to wrap. Anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 wraps is fine. I tend to just go 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shout out to those that have taught me a lot. And then I'm going to put it back through the back end, the hook, and pull that up tight. Now you can use that there for stray lining, you can use that for your long cast pulley rigs, but I'm using it for something else today. Now we're going to bling her up a bit because I like my bling, it helps the fish find the bait. So snapper candy, going to be testing these out. People do well with them, so yeah, why not. Here we go, looking fresh. Gonna grab my Genie rig system, and what you want to do is just cut off a tiny slither, nice and small. That is literally all you want, a tiny little piece like that. And then I'm going to slide that over the end of this little trace here. Now, all we're going to do is just make a loop and feed the line back through the little piece of rig system we put on there. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it tie a knot on itself. Just pull that up. There we go. Now that's tied a little stopper, and that is going to make the beads stop. So I'm just going to slide that all the way down, and there we go. Now the beads won't slide. Very good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie one more of these because I like double hook rigs. That's what I've been running lately. Obviously in weedy areas you might only want to run one hook, but I'm going to tie up another one. I'm not going to make you watch that, but we'll be back in a second. That's number 2. Very nice, fresh. So we've got the best of both worlds. Dark and shiny. So yeah, see what the fish prefers. Now, I'm going to cut off about an arm's length worth of trace. If I had to guess how long that is, probably say like 1.2 meters. The reason for that is it's always better to have more than less when you're tying rigs. It's just how it is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get our trace. Now, I'm going to kind of position it towards the top of the rig where I'd want it. So I'd want it about there towards the top. Reason for that is you're going to have to minus a bit off this end to tie your knot up here. And you want a little bit of abrasion resistance in case you hook the fish up here. You don't want them rubbing on your main line, which is going to be weaker than your leader. So I'm positioning the hook like this, because we don't want to position it upside down like this, or we don't want to position it hanging down like this. So we've got it upwards. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both lines and then I'm going to make a loop just like that, and then I'm going to put both of the lines, tag end of the hook and tag end of the main line, back through this loop 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now I don't want my dropper to be long, because the longer your droppers are, the less aerodynamic your rig's going to be. So kind of going to slide this down a bit. There we go. Now in a minute I'm going to pull on all 4 of these lines. I'm just cinching it down a little bit for now. I want to pull on all 4 of these lines, these 2 and the hook one and this end. Now you've got to be careful because you're going to have a hook in your hand. You've got to pull this pretty bloody hard, otherwise it's not going to work. So here we go. Might get some funny comments about my facials, but if you don't pull this really hard, it's not going to work. There we go. Now you're going to end up with that, and to make sure it's locked in, grab the line and the hook end, pull them apart a bit. Now if that's turned into a big mess, redo it. It's not worth losing a fish over. Now you can see I've got my hook upside down. That's the way I want it. You don't want it like this, because it's more likely to catch and tangle on the line, just like that. So there we go. Cut off the tag end, and then we want to chuck on our second one. Obviously this comes with practice. When I was first taught how to do this, it took me quite a few times to be able to get it nice, and that top one's not amazing, but it doesn't matter because they're not always going to be like that. So yeah, we're going to position our hook down a little bit like so, and the reason for that is I don't want them too far apart because it's not going to be as aerodynamic. It's not going to go as far. So round 2, again, hook facing upwards, pinch here, grab both lines, round 2 fingers, both traces through 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Just going to kind of bring it down a little bit because I want the trace to be shorter, the dropper to be shorter. Now we're going to shorten that a little bit, pull it down, a little bit of spit. Probably should have done that before, that'll help. I pull this pretty bloody hard because you don't want it to turn into a crumpled mess and then you have to redo everything. Pull these apart. There you go. That's a much better one. But this hasn't turned into a crumpled mess. That's not bad. I rate that. I trust that. Cut off the tag end. Now, as you can see, both of my hooks are towards the top end of the trace. The reason for that is it's going to go further, rather than if one was here and one was down further. It'll fly through the air like that, and this will kind of go more in one piece. Now, all that's left to do is put a swivel on it, put a sinker on it, and good to go. So I'm going to put a swivel up the top with just a uni, put the line through, put it parallel along, do a loop. Now the loop can be above, below, in the middle. Put the tag end through and over 3-4 times. 2, 3, 4. A little bit of spit. Put it down 2. Now, if your line was thicker, I'll do less turns on my uni. But yeah, that's just personal preference. So yeah, there's that end. Now we're going to put the sinker on the bottom end. For me, I go for the Boss sinkers. They're the best. The wires are thicker gauge. Another thing with these sinkers is, you know, I've learned off other people most of the stuff, but you know, when it pops off, you can adjust the tension by kind of pulling apart. So sometimes you can be fighting the sand. If you want to make it a bit looser, it'll pop off easier when the fish comes along to grab it. You know, it might stay in the sand when it comes along, but adjust the tension of your sand spikes, so it's going to pop out with the amount of tension you want. So yeah, there is that. And I only learnt that about a month-ish ago. Well, I always knew you could tighten them down, you know, but I never really thought about loosening the tension of them. Here we go, back through, line parallel. I'm going to do another uni loop through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit of spit, pull it tight, bang bang, drop tag end, bang. Now, there is our rig. That's fresh. It's just how I want it. Reason for that, this might be a little bit long. I could probably shorten that just a little bit, but the reason I want it like that is because in Wellington it's very weedy areas. You want to try and keep the fish above the weeds if possible, and the hooks. So that's why I've done it like that. Now I trust these knots more than the dropper loops I've been tying, because the more knots you put in one line, the weaker it becomes. Now these are not just doing knots with the main line, with the main backbone of the rig. They're attached to it, so they're both stronger. So shout out to the people that have taught me this. I hope this helped you, and tight lines out there. Yo.